PM Kisan Transfer is an ongoing scheme. The question that is being asked, let me finish the question and then you respond. Let me just finish the question. The question being asked is, sir, the question being asked is that these huge amounts, the headline figures for these Atmanirbhar schemes or the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, 20 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore, 4 lakh crore, was in terms of cash out just a fraction. The government claimed 15% of GDP has been spent. Actually, almost every credible estimate has found that barely a percent of GDP has been spent. And many are saying that the reason for the fact that we have so many people slipping into poverty, into hunger, is because we are simply not spending enough in terms of putting money into people's pockets.
Vasu, all the votaries and who have been, I think, quite vocal on your channel of distributing what I call helicopter money are missing the point, which is that in a situation where there are supply constraints, if you just distribute helicopter money in the hope that it will increase consumption, it's a completely false premise. And
why?
It is the evidence, hang on, and evidence of that is that the deposits of the Jan Dhan accounts, which are about 400 million now, the deposits in those accounts have been increasing. Now, what does that show? That if you give the people at this point of time, for very good reasons, they increase their savings. They don't go out and spend. And if they don't spend, the economy will not get the stimulus. So therefore, what we thought was the best way to do was increase your employment in the infrastructure sector, in the real estate sector, in all the other sort of related activities, which are railways and so on.
Okay.
Because that is where you get a sustained increase in demand and in incomes, which will then sustain your recovery. And as I said, those having been taken, the recovery in the second half of last year, much stronger than what anybody expected, especially the helicopter money walas.
No, the helicopter money, when you say, by the way, helicopter money, you seem to use the term rather disparagingly. The government itself believes in direct cash transfers. As you mentioned, they've been doing that with PM Kisan. Number two, you know who suggested this very strongly just last week on my show was Uday Kotak. Now, I'm sure you wouldn't describe Uday Kotak as someone who's an advocate of helicopter money or a usual suspect or a member of the... He said, let me tell you what he said. He said, this is the time for the government to directly put cash in the hands of the people in the bottom 60-70%. He said if it comes to it, the RBI should print cash to if there's a cash crunch. He said, if not now, when?
Well, that's Uday's view, and he was entitled to that. And as always, we are looking at all such views and all such suggestions with an open mind. And if it does come to, if we feel that that's required, that will surely be done, as was assured by no less than a person than the Honorable Finance Minister.